what are examples that you've seen of successful monetization strategies for communities?
So, firstly, I don't think community owners have enough options to monetize their communities. I just don't think that we've done enough iterations as founders and entrepreneurs to come up with, interesting concepts around enabling the community organizer. That's number one. Number two, I think that community organizers fundamentally should have that ability. Even the thing with community organizers is that 80% of them are probably doing it 100% out of labor of love. Like, they don't want to monetize. But the thing is, communities are businesses in a lot of ways, and it needs to be sustainable. How do you create a sustainable community? And I think that's the problem with a lot of communities. So, some of the more, I guess, popular examples of like, how do you monetize communities? I mean, we all have Substacks. We all put paywalls in front of our content, or actually I don't, but I might in the future. And I think that's a really obviously interesting way, but that's literally one way.
You can have live Zooms. I hear some people do that.
Yeah, exactly. You can do live Zooms, and that's a really cool way. I think what I like about live Zooms over just like straight up like newsletter content is, it's like, think about this. We're going to have, 30 minutes of like just chatting, and then 30 minutes of like bringing in our community and talking with them, like, which is really, really cool, and like going back to the Instagram example, like you can't really do that on Instagram's platform. But, how do you enable us to not only monetize our community, but engage other communities? So I'd love to see more things in live video. I'd love to see more things in commerce. How do we enable people, community organizers to, create their merch lines? One of the things that worked really well at Islands, which was a social network for college students, is we created, like, we basically worked with the creative director who did like Bieber's clothes and The Weeknd's clothes and Skrillex's clothes, and we created this really, really cool merch line that really spoke to our audience and spoke to our communities, and they loved it. They absolutely loved it. We put up sweaters for sale to college students for $120 US, and they were buying it. We were like, oh, we couldn't believe it. It was crazy. But that's what a membership of a community is. So how do you like, for Lee, let's say, like, Lee, like, maybe someone does want to buy merch from you. Maybe someone wants a coffee. I mean, I'd buy a coffee mug with a quote by you, Lynn, if it said something that around communities around it, or the passion economy. And I'm sure there's others who would too.